And welcome into On the Mark when on the mic here on Recliner Media Network, reclinermedia.com, coming to you on this Sunday evening. As we have a lot to get to, we of course had equipment malfunctions a little bit earlier. I got pissed and my microphone broke off the arm that it was on, so I'm literally holding it now. And just kind of a crappy day overall, Mark. It's a blizzard over here, as you probably saw in the first absolutely garbage can that was the AFC Championship. But anyways, how are you?
I'm okay, but yeah, I started to get frustrated with my own technical difficulties on this side. So glad we're on track.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was stupid and crappy and everything else that whatever any other terrible adjective you want to add to describe the day, there you go. It doesn't help when you start the day at like a -10 on the patience meter. So when things don't work, it's very, very frustrating. So my microphone took the brunt of it, but here we are with you as we have a lot to get into. We'll talk about that garbage can that was the AFC Championship game. We'll take a look at the NFC title game, which is happening right now for the chance to head to Super Bowl 60. As right now, the LA Rams actually took the lead. It's 13-10 over the Seattle Seahawks. We'll get into that game. NFL coaching carousel, Mark, has starting to fill in a little bit as some coaches were hired and some teams still waiting for a candidate as well. And we will spin the wheel review here in a little bit as we'll review our assignments that we had to watch last week. And I kind of had it easy, to be honest with you, on our entertainment portion of the show, but we'll get into that. But we'll kick things off with what are you watching? And obviously, it is NFL playoff football. Kind of foreshadowed it there a little bit. The dumpster fire that was the AFC Championship game was absolutely garbage, Mark. The weather didn't help. I guess having your starting quarterback didn't help, but still an absolute botching amateur job play calling by Sean Payton, who I thought was better than this trash. I get it. You have all those factors added on top of you not being able to kick a field goal on fourth down and take the points in the AFC Championship game. With the rights to go to the Super Bowl, you decided to be a little dickhead and dick around and not take the points. I get it. It worked out for you last week, Mark, but as the season grows on and you have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, you take the points immediately. And I get it. You can't foreshadow, the blizzard moved in pretty quick, but still, you take the points in a game like this.
No, I agree. Plus, not having your starting quarterback from this week compared to last week. Um, I'm trying to be as careful as I can. All I really wanted, if I'm in that Denver position, is Stidham to just manage the game, let the defense do what the defense does, and special teams needed to come in clutch today. And yeah, they just special teams failed them. That play call, like I said, going deep on 2nd and 9. I always hate when they do that, especially with the weather. The throw was off. Yeah, just frustrating. I get it. I mean, I don't get it. So it's that's a tough outcome for a Denver team.
Let me unmute myself there. Yeah, again, it was just a terrible coaching job. Not much. I mean, Mark Stidham. Mark, is that his name? Mark Stidham. I don't even know his name anymore. That's how just Jared Stidham. That's how
Jared Stidham.
so much for Stiddy for the city. It was pretty shitty. Not much he could honestly do. Mark, he was kind of set up to fail. Um, if he wins, he was going to be the hero. If he lost, he was going to be the scapegoat. So it was an excuse incentivized deal for Jared Stidham. I mean, you didn't. I mean, he had a bad first drive, And then the second drive, he looked more comfortable, hit that 45-yard pass, and then found Cortland Sutton in the back of the end zone, and that was it. Like, that was literally it. You know, deep in the second half mark, third, fourth quarter, the blizzard started. Literally, New England did not care about their offense because they knew Denver could not do anything on offense either. Will Lutz missed 2 field goals. The second one was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Not really much you can do there. I mean, their field goal kicker missed a field goal or two, and it was just garbage. But yeah, I mean, you if you're Jared Stidham, again, on that forward backwards pass, another play on the Drake May tush push could have went the other way from the top. Maybe it didn't look like he got it, but again, not much evidence to reverse.
God, I absolutely love it. Matches the rest of our day, it sounds like.
Apparently, you just gotta slam it against the desk and it works. Yeah, I mean, there was just not much going right at all for really either team in that game. Literally, New England called a timeout, came out on third down, and threw the ball out of bounds. Like, it was a design play just to throw the ball out of bounds because they knew Denver couldn't do crap on offense. So it was just one of those games, 10-7, final score. That means, like, it was just terrible all around when you have a 10-7 game. A lot of people are saying maybe first one to 20 or 24 points would win this game. And yeah, stupid New England back to the Super Bowl with a brand new clean cut douchebag of a quarterback going to the Super Bowl. And sorry, I do not know Drake May, but you're on the Patriots, so you're guilty by association. Mike Vrabel seems like a douche. And yeah, all of Boston can just be buried under snow at this point.
Yeah, no, that once again, that's like you just touched on it. Neither offense, did much. 86 yards for Drake May. Stevenson ran for 71 total. Just very, very little to show for that offensive side. That's tough. That's really tough.
Yeah, it was just bad all around. So, so it'll be the New England Patriots waiting for the winner again of the NFC Championship game as Seattle just pulled ahead 17-13. So the winner, obviously, that is at halftime now. So we will wait the winner of that. Is it going to be an NFC 1 Super Bowl no matter who comes out of the NFC, Mark, or do you think the Patriots have some tricks up their sleeve?
They better find some tricks up their sleeves, because I think either team on that NFC side is going to come out shooting offensively. Both got high power offense, and the Seattle Seahawks just scored 17-13.5. I mean, that last second throw type stuff. I mean, that's what these teams have been doing. So, yeah, I think if they don't, they better figure it out, because those offenses are going to come to play. I think it's going to be another NFC Super Bowl win.
Yeah, I think so too, and I don't think it matters who comes out of the NFC. And why does it look like it's like 60 degrees in Seattle? That is absolutely crazy. The rest of the country is getting crapped on, and Seattle's just having a good old time up there in the Pacific Northwest, which is probably good. Watch the game with some people. They're like, this is why just every stadium needs a dome or a retractable roof, because that was you don't want. The last thing you want, Mark, is weather to affect the game, which is why obviously Super Bowls are played in neutral, nice weather locations. And so,
you ready for this? 71 degrees at Lumen Field, 71 in Seattle. Beautiful.
If I just stop talking, you might have to pick it up because I'm literally about to throw this computer into the snow. So,
I
uh,
got you. But yeah, I don't
yeah,
know if you heard that. 71 degrees over there in Seattle. It's a summer day over there.
that's crazy. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. That's what I mean. I didn't know the temperature, but I was like, sun is shining. Do they have a retractable roof? I don't think so. Do
I
they?
don't know. I think it's open field. Yeah.
Okay, so well then screw Seattle. I hope the Rams win. And I mean, who in your heart of hearts do you want to see win that game? Do you want to see Sam
You know,
Darnold go to his first Super Bowl after almost at the risk of being a bust for so long? Came back last year, led the Vikings to a good season. Came back this year and led Seattle to the first seed in the NFC, 14-win season. The when you're drafted by the Jets, again, you're set up to fail anyway. When you go to Carolina, you're set up to fail anyway. And now he has a chance to go to his first Super Bowl after being a third overall pick. Matt Stafford has a chance to go to his second Super Bowl. I do like Matt Stafford. I don't really mind either team. They're not the Seattle of years past. And honestly, neither is New England for that matter. It's a whole new regime. But at least Denver people still have very much hate for anything New England, and maybe a little bit still of sour taste in their mouth from that Seattle Super Bowl. We don't speak on that. That was a dark time. But is there someone you want to win? Does the quarterbacks have anything to do with it? I still couldn't name you Seattle's head coach, Sean McVay. I think he's got more gel in his hair than he does plays in his playbook. I don't know. But is there anyone you're rooting for?
yeah, honestly, and I hate to say this just because I never really cared for the Seahawks, but I am rooting for that Darnold story. I mean, going through all that crap and then really just getting dumped on by the Vikings after a great year. Yeah, Sam Darnold I think deserves it. I love Matt Stafford as well. All those years he had to get beat up in Detroit, um, and all the static he's had to deal with. So ultimately, I don't mind either team, but I am definitely rooting for Sam Darnold to go and get one. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, so we will see what happens. Again, that game is at halftime. So the winner obviously goes to the Super Bowl. Well, what else are you watching, Mark? Because I'm watching these NFL coaching carousel go round and round and round. We weren't able to get on last week, but the Broncos at least got Sean McDermott fired last week, so I guess that was a step in the right direction. if you're the Denver Broncos, so that's good. So they interviewed a couple people, including your boy Philip Rivers. What do you make of that?
I've never heard him say that he had aspirations for coaching, so that's really shocked me. That would be extremely interesting to see what he would come out with as a coach, especially with his style of trash talk. So that to me would be interesting, just in itself, let alone his football IQ and everything else. But I don't agree with the Bills or the Ravens firing either of those coaches. With the Ravens, you got a rookie kicker who missed the kick. Name one season I think that Jim Harbaugh had a healthy quarterback all year long. That line got banged up, didn't help Henry much. Then on that Buffalo side, don't get me wrong, I understand they've been in positions to win games and make runs, but man, that's the guy who turned the team around. So that's kind of crazy to me that they're going to fire either of those teams. And the Bills owner came out and flat out said, "Hey, we're gonna fire. We fired McDermott because of that Denver game. That game could have gone either way. That call, whatever you want to make of it, whatever the rules are, I've seen that call go either way. Seen that call go both ways, in fact. So tough day. I mean, tough choice. Like I said, I don't know if I agree with it at all. But yeah, it is what it is. The coaching carousel continues as the Green Bay Packers signing Gannon as their new defensive coordinator. I mean, I don't think Hafley was a great defensive coordinator. I think he had great players. He ran that soft zone a lot. So I'm not convinced on Gannon yet. I mean, we'll see. I mean, might come out and be a hero. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh going to the Giants, so that'll be interesting to see what he could do with that new duo, right? Jackson Dart and obviously your boy Scat. So I don't know. They did need a new look. I didn't think Dayball was the guy. So that'll be fun to watch. Another good one is McCarthy to the Steelers. I don't think anybody's happy about that. McCarthy brings that play not to lose mentality. So I'm not sure going from a Mike Tomlin to a Mike McCarthy is the way to go. So I mean, like, it's tough. It's real tough. But yeah, coaching carousel.
Yeah, and I'm about to carousel this computer literally right out into the street. And what did you make of Harbaugh going to the New York Giants?
I think it'll be fun for him with that new with like I said with that new duo of Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo and what he can do with that team. But yeah, the Ravens, I think that owner really made the wrong call firing Harbaugh. I don't understand. Like I said, the rookie kicker ultimately misses that field goal, and that's what got him cut. I mean, like I said, I get it. They had their chances and their runs as well, just same as McDermott. But I don't know. I don't agree with the call. So the Giants, I think, lucked out.
Yeah, and the Buffalo Bills still have a coaching vacancy. How attractive is that job? Obviously, you choke every year in the playoffs, but you have a quarterback like Josh Allen still at the helm. Is that attractive enough for one of these, I guess, big name coaches left to go and snag that job?
I think so. Josh Allen in itself should sell that, but you think about it, the last few years in general has really come down to 1 to 2 plays. That interception in Denver, like I said, I've seen that call being called both ways. Um, we don't know if he catches that. We don't know if Josh Allen didn't miss that one to Knox right across the top towards the end of that game. We don't know where it'd be sitting. So I think personally they're a couple of pieces away, maybe a couple of luck plays of not getting injured in certain parts of the season. I say why not? I say take that team on and try and run with it.
Yeah, so we will see what Buffalo does. Cleveland also still looking for a head coach. Don't know how much attractive that job is unless you're excited about maybe Shador Sanders or something like that. The prospect of having him as your quarterback, and the Raiders are still looking to fill their coaching vacancy. What was it a mistake for the Raiders to give up on Pete Carroll after 1 year, or do you think it was more Pete Carroll saying, "Nah, screw this"? Like, and to be honest, you were never going to win a Super Bowl with Geno Smith anyway.
No, I completely agree. It might have even been more on Pete saying forget this, but if it wasn't, I think the Raiders made a mistake, like you just said. I mean, you're not going to take that team and you're not going to change that team overnight. You got now the first round pick that would have given Carroll and listen, I never really cared for Pete Carroll, hated what he did at USC or how he left them in shambles anyway. Um, so never really cared for him, but I think even he deserved a better shot and a better opportunity. Like I said, you got the first round draft pick now. That defense isn't awful. You can, add a couple offensive pieces. You might have, you know what I mean, a competitive team, and then a couple of years, who knows?
Yeah. So, and then obviously the Arizona Cardinals as well. We will see what they do. Teams that did bring in a new head coach, your former buddy Mike McCarthy takes a year off from coaching, and goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, becomes becomes only the fourth head coach in Pittsburgh Steelers history in the last 40 years. They've only had three, obviously. We kind of touched on that a couple weeks ago, from Chuck Noll to Bill Cowher to Mike Tomlin, and now to Mike McCarthy. Some of the rumblings out of Pittsburgh was this was not a ploy to try to keep Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. Although I guess it doesn't hurt. I don't know what the relationship has been the last couple of years, but what did you make of your boy going to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is this going to ruin their run of being over 500 for the last 15 years?
Yeah, I didn't like that move. Anytime you go from a Mike Tomlin, you want to progressively go forward. Like you want to. I mean, he's like you just touched. He never had a losing season there. So going to a Mike McCarthy, which yes, he did win a Super Bowl in Green Bay. Forever grateful for that. However, he always brought that play not to lose aspect, especially deep in the season, where in the middle of the season he's making aggressive play calls and making your team look, phenomenal. It goes complete opposite in the postseason. And with the Steelers having a history of close seasons, missing the playoffs by one game, or going into the playoffs and losing in the first round, in my opinion, not the guy and not the move.
All right, and then the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan bring in a lot of people already slamming this move as well, but Kevin Stefanski goes from Cleveland to Atlanta. Obviously, Kirk Cousins was on the pregame show for CBS today, so maybe his mind is already out of Atlanta. I don't know. Is Michael Penix Jr. the answer there? What did you make of Kevin Stefanski, two-time Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland, going to the dirty hot Atlanta?
Yeah, that's another one. I don't know if I would take on Stefanski as a head coach for at least a while. That was, and you got to remember too, Atlanta, they've already got a laundry list of issues there. So I wouldn't want to add a coach in there that is already having trouble. Leaving Cleveland's tough enough, and then you want to task him with basically the same thing, different colors. So kind of tough.
Yeah. And then Baltimore turns around and I guess hires or promotes, I guess, for lack of a better term, Jesse Minter. John Harbaugh actually hired Minter in 2017, bringing him in from Georgia State as their defensive coordinator. So he's been there for 8 years now, kind of knows the system, knows the players. You're not bringing in a new guy. System-wise, I don't know if he's going to change anything. Obviously, he's more of a defensive mind. Going to be more of a defensive-minded head coach. Will he call plays? All that's coming into question. But what did you make of Jesse Minter now being the guy in Baltimore?
Yeah, I do think it was smart to hold on to part of what Harbaugh built, because he's really the one who put the people in the place to make the Ravens successful. But once again, Minter's one of those guys. It's like, well, we don't really know. He might come out of the gate swinging and shock the world. I don't know. That one's a tough one. Like I said, I don't think they should have fired Harbaugh to begin with. So Minter, maybe he's the guy.
All right, and the Miami Dolphins, a bit of a head scratcher for some, but they bring in your other boy, Jeff Hafley, now the former defensive coordinator from the Green Bay Packers. He goes to Miami. Again, maybe a head scratcher for some. Can he fix Tua if Tua even stays there? They have a new general manager down in Miami as well. After Mike McDaniel's adventure now for the past week and a half has been pretty funny. But Jeff Hafley now, the new man in South Beach. What do you make of this move?
Good luck, Miami. I did not like how he ran Green Bay's defense. A lot of soft zones. Could have been way more aggressive, especially with Micah Parsons being added. So I don't know. To me, I didn't think he was ready. I think this was only his second year in the NFL when LaFleur brought him up from the college area. So I don't know if he's ready or not. But like I said, good luck, Miami.
Yeah. And then Tennessee fills their coaching vacancy, not bringing back, but Robert Saleh is back. in the NFL head coaching ranks, as he again, feel bad for anyone who has anything to do with the Jets, but failed there. Goes back to San Francisco with his tail between his legs. Kyle Shanahan's like, sure, come back, buddy. Did a good job coaching the defense in San Francisco, and then now he gets hired in Tennessee. Were you surprised at how quick Robert Saleh re-entered the coaching portal, or were you like, he's been a head coach, he was with the Jets, we kind of give him a break there? Again, went back to San Fran, did a good job coaching that defense, and now is back as a head coach.
No, I think definitely being a Jets coach is rough. I was shocked that the Jets fired him. When they fired him, he's the one who made that defense what it was, and then being able to add a couple offensive pieces. Obviously, Rodgers going down that first year doesn't help. That offensive line has never really been great for him. So I think the Titans were smart picking him up. I think he deserves another shot. And this time around, maybe don't. I mean, obviously, you're a defensive-minded coach. He's a defensive guru. He's proven that. So maybe try and beef up that offensive line when you do get a quarterback.
Yeah. Just going to throw out some names here and see what you say. Deshaun McDermott finds something right away, or does he go to the Mike McCarthy route and maybe and a lot of other coaches' route, take a year off, kind of reevaluate, and then jump back in next year? Or do you see him maybe nabbing a Raiders job or a Cleveland job or something like that?
I see him on it. My personal opinion is the way that he was fired, especially when the owner came out and said, well, it's because of that Denver game. Like I said, a game that could have really easily gone either way. I see him taking a year. That was kind of rough, kind of a shock. Um, I mean, if he doesn't, I see him going after a team that he can work with ownership to kind of make it his own, kind of like what he was doing in Buffalo. But I don't see him going anywhere right away.
Yeah, we'll see. Joe Brady, another name. The Bills' offensive coordinator has been linked to some possible maybe head coaching vacancies. Not sure on that one. How about Antonio Pierce, the former Raiders coach? Did an admirable job kind of filling in, maybe not filling in, but being the Raiders head coach for what they had going on there. Do you see him getting back into the coaching game?
Yeah, I do actually, because he kind of took the pride. Like, he grew up a Raiders fan, and he kind of took the pride and kind of led with pride, and I see that as a good quality. I wouldn't be shocked if he got another coaching job.
Yeah, so we will see kind of the assistants in demand. Mike LaFleur, the Rams OC, Aiden Durd, the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, and Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. I think people know more about the coordinators for Seattle than the actual head coach. And Kubiak obviously ties to Denver, so we know that name very well. And what he was able to do this year, obviously, with Sam Darnold and that Seattle offense, getting them going. Probably, stole some recipes from his dad and threw in his own ingredients, but still doing a good job with Seattle. So once again, the Bills, Raiders, Browns, and Cardinals all still searching for their new head coach. So we will see. Before we move on, the Mike McDaniel thing has been funny. Obviously, gets fired in Miami. He agrees to be the Chargers' new offensive coordinator, and then he canceled his interviews with a few teams, but still has a few interviews with a few teams. So his trajectory has gone funny. And I know the rule is that, like, if you want to move like parallel, if you're a head coach and you want to be a coach of another team, the coach who has you under contract can stop that. Like, they can say, no, you can't interview them. But if it's a move up, so like say if Clint Kubiak wanted to interview for the Cleveland Browns job, Seattle cannot block that move because it is a move up. But any parallel moves, those teams are able to block those interview requests. So Mike McDaniel's just he obviously got demoted, but it's funny because he turned down a couple head coaching interviews. The Chargers can't. I mean, is there a rule that they literally just brought him in? Is there a rule that says no, you can't go interview for another head coaching job because you already agreed to be our offensive coordinator? So his adventure the last couple days have been pretty funny. Poor guy.
Yeah, he's been going through it for sure. And then there's just the collapse of Miami to begin with was hard to watch.
Yeah. So there is your coaching carousel update. Mark, anything else on your watch list?
Last night, UFC 324, watching the Paddy the Baddy fight. Terrible outcome for the Paddy the Baddy fans. That fight was close. Gaethje wins a unanimous decision. Good fight. I think Paddy should have been a little bit more aggressive. Justin did his job, stayed in his kitchen, kept the uppercuts coming in. Couldn't knock Paddy out though, so he's still not getting knocked out. And then Sugar Sean making his comeback after the surgery and everything else, being Song Yadong, unanimous decision. Sean O'Malley kind of dominating that fight. So it was a great card. A couple of disappointing fights on there, as I expected better from certain fighters, but ultimately happy and love the fact that it's on Paramount Plus now. So you're able to, as long as you got Paramount, there's no more pay-per-views. I don't have to pay $100 every other weekend now, Michael. So it's a win.
There you go. I couldn't name you one fighter, but I won $300 on betting last night. So there you
That
go.
hurts my heart. I lost all my bets, and I know all the fighters.
Yeah. Finally, though, again, maybe you just bet on stuff you know zero things about, and maybe you'll win. I'm gonna hit.
Russian
I'm gonna check.
table tennis.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out some. Yeah, I'm gonna check out some cricket or yeah, maybe some. What is that? Maybe some luge in the Olympics. I'm excited because I've never been a sports bettor during the Olympics. This will be like maybe I'm excited to see what you're able to bet on during the Olympics. So
love that.
That should be fun. Yeah, we will see. We will see what happens there. Anything else on my watch list? I guess Derrick Rose had his jersey retired by the Chicago Bulls last night. You may be scratching your head and say, why the hell would they retire his number? Maybe it's just to get attendance. But Derrick he was a big piece of Chicago. He's from Chicago. He only actually played for the Bulls for 8 seasons, won Rookie of the Year, won an MVP, still the youngest MVP in league history when he won it in 2011. He averaged just around 20 points in his 8 seasons. Just riddled with injury during his career is what kind of derailed everything he had going. But I'm a sucker for like, jersey retirements, anything like that, Hall of Fame speeches. So, all of his past teammates were there. Some of them got up and did a speech, like Luol Deng. If you go to the Bulls YouTube page, they have a whole bunch of like behind the scenes, like going down memory lane. Joakim Noah is there. Taj Gibson's there. Kirk Heinrich is there. So there's a bunch of. I mean, those Bulls teams were super good. They just could not get past Miami in those Eastern Conference playoff battles. So, but it's cool to see. So no one else can wear number 1 for the Chicago Bulls, and he's up there with kind of. I don't know how you feel being up there with Jordan and Pippen. Jerry Sloan's up there in the rafters, but Derrick Rose, Chicago's own Derrick Rose, I think that had a lot to do with it as well. But yeah, it was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was definitely a head scratcher, but I have always loved Derrick Rose, loved his story, loved he was the hometown kid, got to come home and play, got to win some decent hardware there. But yeah, just snake bitten with injury, and that killed the numbers that he could have possibly produced in the league for sure. So yeah, it's one of those things, kind of, I get it. Like you said, Chicago's very own. I get it, but it's like there's a lot of play left out on the floor because of injuries, so that kind of makes it tough for me as well.
Yeah. So I'm not sure who the next one would be in the rafters for the Chicago Bulls. It's going to be a while, I feel like. So we will see. Anything else?
At this point, you might as well hand it to Luol Deng.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, or a Kirk Heinrich or any of those guys who yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anything else you're watching right now?
Just Just gonna take a break for a minute. Had a lot of wind knocked out of my sails these last couple of weekends with sports.
Yeah, it is. It's been rough. I feel that, but yeah, my Iowa Lady Hawkeyes got another win today. It is their third top 25 win in the past week, Mark. They can knock off number 16 Ohio State. How about this? It's the first time since Caitlin Clark left Iowa, Mark, that they're ranked in the top 10. So Iowa, they're ranked 10 going into this game. They get a big win over Big Ten rival Ohio State Lady Buckeyes. In a couple of games, they will face number 3 UCLA. That's going to be a test for them. They also have UConn mixed in that schedule,
That's
and
gonna be tough.
yeah, we all know how UConn is. So there you go and also still watching Unrivaled as well. That's been kind of entertaining. As we mentioned, expanded rosters and new teams and stuff like that. So that's also been fun to watch. Anything you're not watching?
You know what? I have not seen anything that has irked or frustrated me, to be honest. So no, not on my not watching list right now.
Yeah. Besides besides your buddy John Morant finally getting put on the trading block. So good for him.
With the value cannot be high on that trade right now.
And he's out too. So he's got like a hurt ego or like a broken fingernail or something. So he's out till at least the trade deadline. So there you go.
Boy, oh boy, that saga just continues to continue, doesn't it?
Yeah. So not much on my not watching list as well as yeah, maybe it might be done watching football. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is, I just hope the Super Bowl doesn't suck. I mean, I'm never gonna watch the Pro Bowl stuff again until they can figure out how to not make it suck. But the Super Bowl, obviously, I'll be watching. But yeah, I just hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah, right now, about 10 minutes ago in the third quarter, Seattle holds a 24-20 lead over the LA Rams. That's kind of what we thought the score was going to be in the AFC Championship game, but it would turn into the AFC Championship game. So that's where we land right now. As we transition into the entertainment portion of the podcast, we will spin the wheel review here in a few minutes. And as we go over our notes, our assignments from last week, 2 weeks ago, from spinning the wheel review, I feel like Mark got shafted. I have an easy one because I only have to watch one show for the next month. So I don't even have to spin today, Mark. That's how crazy that is.
That's a win.
Yeah, so I had to watch Ballers. Again, I have a whole month to watch it, so I'm going to break it down by season each week. And there's 5 seasons, so 5 weeks. That's about a month. If I have to combine, I will, I guess. And then Mark had to watch Loki. What did you watch of Loki? Did we spin how many episodes you had to watch?
I think it was only pilot, because if it's not pilot, then I messed up and I only watched the pilot.
It might have been. I don't even remember yesterday. So it is what it is. But yeah, Ballers. Great show if you haven't watched this. It is on HBO Max. It was on HBO a while ago, actually. But what I love about this show, first of all, Mark, is, I mean, they use actual NFL teams. They use actual NFL logos, even like placement product in the show. They don't blur anything out. Like they use brand.
Yeah, I mean, while you're fixing that, I do agree that Ballers, one of my favorite series. I believe there's 5 seasons, and the Rock doing his thing. So I'm a huge fan. Ballers, love that show. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's on HBO. So if you have like an HBO account, or linking it through like your Amazon or whatever, however you need to consume it, definitely consume that. Fantastic show. Like I said, The Rock doing his thing. I am going to wait to get into too much detail, though, because that was Michael's assignment. as we are having some more technical difficulties, as you can tell. But hang there with us. We're almost there. Sorry, it's been a rough go. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough couple of weeks for us as we're trying to catch our breath and get back at it. So yeah, give Michael just a couple of minutes, and let's hope he doesn't throw that computer out in the snow so he can join us yet again. But back to it. The entertainment portion is pretty much all I've been looking forward to after a couple of weekends of disappointment in sports. So, I mean, it's good to be able to slow it down, watch something cool, or, maybe not so cool, and then get to talk about it here with you guys. So, once again, bear with me as let's all cross our fingers that Michael is not throwing his computer at the wall or in the snow or setting it on fire. And then he gets to join us here within the next couple of minutes. And as I believe he is back. So I will let him jump right back into what he was talking about on Ballers. Still nothing on the mic. Gonna let him work it out. I mean, hey, maybe like you say, gotta slam it on the desk, throw it outside, reel it back in with the cord like a fishing pole, set it on fire. Still nothing. Okay. All right. Well, in the meantime, I can jump in and talk about Loki as I watched the pilot episode, which it takes place in the events of the Avengers Endgame, which is like a cool little addition because they got to you know really feed off of all those details and kind of make this little story their own. But he teleports to the desert, the Gobi Desert, but he's quickly picked up and scooped up by the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, and they reset him with a time twister collar, so it allows them to control his physical being, um, which would they get to control his physical position in time, so they get to make sure that he doesn't just hops around everywhere, which is like a cool little detail. They take him to the headquarters, where he is, brought up on trial. He's arrested. He's brought up on trial for all of his crimes. He's forced to sign the the transcripts of everything he has ever said and is reset out of his Asgardian fine clothing. So brought back and humbled real quick. So that being said, he uh he gets to go stand trial. He's up for a judge, argues that also the Avengers were traveling through time, but as it comes out, they were supposed to have traveled through time as the ruling comes out, and Loki's escape was not supposed to happen. So just before he is sentenced to be reset, um, Mobius comes in and kind of pulls out and says, "Hey, Loki could be useful." So they put him in an interrogation room, and he shows Loki the highlights of his life and everything that that he's been through, and then also the low parts of his life, and all of his failures and pains and losing friends and relationships. Um, then he attempts to use the Tesseract, and he only discovers that the Infinity Stones mean absolutely nothing when he's at the TVA's headquarters, and basically they use them as paperweights. So shocks him, but he does manage to escape. He finds the reel of his future, where it shows his mom's death, showing back up with Thor, all the way to basically dying at the hands of Thanos. So basically, this shoots Loki into kind of changing his whole uh, um, mindset and what he wants to do with his life, and he's humbled and says, "Okay, you know what? I don't want to be a jerk anymore. I don't want to hurt people. I want to try and make something of myself." So, um, yeah, I mean, great pilot. I'm gonna continue to watch it. I think it's gonna be fun to watch how this unfolds. Uh, that episode does end with a hooded figure, the other Loki variant, attacking Minutemen in 1858 in Oklahoma. So excited to see where that one goes, and like I said, it's going to be a show that I'm going to continue to watch. Still can't hear you, and looks like we're still having issues on Michael's side with that microphone. So bear with us for a couple of more minutes. Um, in the meantime, like I said, definitely want to watch Loki. There was a few Avenger movies I didn't watch with time and kind of just couldn't get to the theaters and watch it. So there's a lot more I want to catch up and watch, and then be able to kind of put them all together and make some of these episodes of these kind of mini series kind of make more sense. Or maybe I'll find cool little Easter eggs as well. So excited for that. So Michael going to try and reconnect once again. In other news, at this point in time, the NFC Championship game 31-20, Seattle, and Seattle does have the ball, and they are, I believe they just scored that touchdown. So, yeah, 31-20, 4:52 left in the third. And this is another reason why I think, now don't get me wrong, I understand the snow in any kind of heavy game like a conference championship doesn't help. Injuries don't help, but I'm not convinced on that Patriot offense. As really none of their games this postseason has really tore off and really opened up. The most they scored was 28 points, and that was against the Texans. So, yeah, not really too impressed by their offense. So it'll be interesting to see when they do face a high-powered offense what they do with it. And still no mic, so we might have to cut this one short, folks. So that will do it for us. We will fix the technical difficulties. So thanks again for joining us. Follow us on all of our platforms, and then then we will catch you guys up on Ballers and what I'm supposed to be spinning next. So sorry about the technical difficulties, folks. Have a good week.